In 1861, the United States of America faced its greatest crisis, not from a foreign empire, not from invasion, but from within. The country split in two: the northern states, known as the Union, and the southern states, known as the Confederacy. This was the beginning of the American Civil War, a conflict that would reshape the nation forever. For decades before the war, tensions had been growing. The North was rapidly industrializing. Cities were expanding. Railroads stretched across states. The South, however, depended heavily on agriculture, especially cotton. And cotton relied on enslaved labor. Slavery became the central issue dividing the nation. Many in the North opposed its expansion. Many in the South believed it was essential. The election of Abraham Lincoln in 1860 became the breaking point. Lincoln opposed the expansion of slavery. Southern leaders feared their influence was fading. One by one, 11 Southern states declared they were leaving the Union. They formed the Confederate States of America, led by Jefferson Davis. In April 1861, Confederate forces fired on Fort Sumter in South Carolina. The war had begun. At first, many believed the conflict would be short. They were wrong. Over 4 brutal years, more than 600,000 soldiers would die. The Union had advantages: more factories, more railroads, a larger population. The Confederacy had strong military leadership and fought largely on its own land. One of the South's most famous generals was Robert E. Lee, but the North also had determined leadership, including General Ulysses S. Grant, who believed in relentless pressure. The war saw massive battles: Antietam, Gettysburg, Shiloh, Vicksburg. Entire towns became battlefields. In 1863, President Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation. It declared that enslaved people in Confederate territories were free. The war was no longer only about preserving the Union. It was now clearly about ending slavery. Later that same year, Lincoln delivered the Gettysburg Address, redefining the war as a struggle for a new birth of freedom. By 1864, the Confederacy was weakening. Its economy was collapsing. Supplies were scarce. In April 1865, General Robert E. Lee surrendered to General Grant at Appomattox Courthouse. The war was over. But tragedy struck soon after. Just days later, President Abraham Lincoln was assassinated. The nation had survived its bloodiest conflict, but the wounds would take generations to heal. The Civil War ended slavery. The 13th Amendment formally abolished it. But freedom did not instantly bring equality. The Reconstruction era that followed was filled with hope, political struggle, and deep resistance, especially in the South. The effects of the Civil War still shape American society today. Questions about rights and national identity continue to echo. The American Civil War was more than a military conflict. It was a moral reckoning, a test of whether a divided democracy could survive. More than 150 years later, it reminds us that a nation can be torn apart by its deepest disagreements, but it can also rebuild. And this is just one drop in history. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe to Drop in History for more amazing history every week. See you in the next video.